House Speaker John Boehner now saying that Congress may not have the votes it needs to stop this nuclear deal with Iran, to Republican Senator John Barrasso on if this means that the deal, as the president is writing it, will be the deal that ultimately is approved. What do you think, Senator?
Well, Neil, it's hard to say. I think the most important thing is that Congress actually gets a chance, and the American people get a chance, to take a look at what is in the deal. Because, as you know, the Iranians are saying there's one thing in the deal, and then the White House is saying it's something very different than that. So the American people want to make sure that whatever it is verifiable, enforceable, accountable, because we all agree that Iran with a nuclear weapon makes the world less stable, less safe, and less secure.
Now, you've been leading an effort, Iran to own up to disavowing any acts of terror against the United States. Your colleague Marco Rubio has been saying recognize Israel's right to exist. There are others who are saying free all American-related hostages, including this Washington Post reporter. So they're all putting their 2 cents and very valid add-ons to this. And the argument you're hearing from the powers that be in both parties is that it is weighting this thing down to the point that it can't be approved, and that is your ultimate goal anyway.
Well, what we're talking now about is the different amendments that are on the floor dealing with this Iranian deal. Mine has to do with the president certifying that Iran is not supporting terrorism. After all, you see in Iran, the chants of death to America, death to Americans. This is all about the money, Neil. The Iranians want the money. That's why they want the sanctions relieved. I think they're willing to promise just about anything to get the money. And my worry is they're not going to use this money for hospitals or schools or roads. They're going to use it to support terrorism. And I want the president to certify every 3 months, as he already would have to do with other parts of the deal, that Iran's not using the money for terrorism.
Well, he'll never know, right?
Very simple
and why,
request.
if you don't take them at their word now, Senator, you could argue, what good is it when it's written on a piece of paper?
Well, this was part of the original bipartisan bill. 9 Democrats co-sponsored it. So I think it's a reasonable request. But remember, Neil, the president had opposed sanctions being put on by Congress in the first place. Then when we passed it 100-0, then he signed it. And I believe it are those sanctions that brought Iran to the table in the first place. So the American people and their representatives in Congress, I think, have a role in what is likely to be the most consequential piece of legislation and agreement of an American president, probably of this decade.
We'll watch closely, Senator. In the meantime, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.